So good evening everyone. This is yours truly, Forever Zosa, or my real name is John Michael O. Verzosa. So today I will be discussing again chapter 1, the nature and functions of management, under the subject of organization and management of the ABM strand for senior high school. Tonight we have Module 3, which is Management Theories and the Functions, Roles, and Skills of a Manager. So for our motivational quotation of today, this one is from Chester Barnard. So according to him, organizations endure, they do endure. However, in proportion to the breadth of the morality by which they are governed. Thus, the endurance of the organization depends upon the quality of leadership, and that quality derives from the breadth of the morality upon which it rests. So what he is saying here is that leadership comes from morality. And without that morality, the organization will not endure, rather it will perish. So here is the question. Why do we have to study management theories? Why? Is there a valid reason for us to study the theory? People will say management is a practical, it's more a practice rather than a theory. Huh? So we have to study because of these. Management theories are known for increasing productivity. You have to know how to increase the productivity of the workforce. Next, it is used to simplify decision making. Minsan kasi mahirap gumawa ng tamang decision. And there are times you need that decision to be swift. Kailangan po ay mabilisan ang inyong paggawa ng tamang desisyon. Pero meron pong time element. So pag binitawan mo yung decision mo at na-relay mo na sa mga tao, sa lahat ng mga miyembro ng organisasyon, hindi mo na po siya mababawi. You can rectify but sabi nga sa mga konyo na schools, you cannot make bawi anymore, sir. Wala nang bawian. So you need at least the grasp of the theory in order to make excellent practice. Number 3, it encourages staff participation. So, minsan kasi meron ding inputs. Meron mga magagaling na empleyado na merong matitinding idea. Mga malilikot ng idea. But, their decisions or their reasonings, their opinions, if you will analyze it well, they make sense. And here is history of theories. Ano ba yung mga nagiging problema? Ano po ba yung mga senaryo? So, 1910s to 1940s, ito po yung nagiging dilemma nila. Increasing productivity and efficiency through standardization, division of labor, centralization, and hierarchy. If you will recall, this is the time that management is at its infancy. Nagsisimula pa lamang po. 1950s to 1960s. As you can see, there is a slight gap of 10 years due to the World War II. Pero, eto na yung nagiging problema. the emergence of functional organizations due to growth and complexity. We all know the quotation that says, necessity is the mother of invention. So dito nagawa nila yung functional organizations. Sir, ano po ba yung mga functional organizations? Huh? So these are, let's say, yung mga accounting department, sales department, HR department, and so forth. Huh? We will delve onto that later. And then in the 70s, so resource allocation naman. Huh? Resource allocation through strategic planning, processes, and the development of contingency plans. How about nung 1980s, sir? Seeking and keeping competitive advantage. Yun naman na naging focal topic nila sa management. You have to sustain that advantage. Hindi pwedeng malamangan ka ng mga kalaban mo, no? Your competitors. That's why we call it competitive advantage. And each entity or firm or organization is seeking ways to sustain that, to keep it. No? Hindi ka naman siguro papayag na utik-utikin ka ng kalaban mo, no? Until such time na siya na ang market leader. Of course, you want to remain number one. Or kung ano man yung position mo, whether you're number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and the like. 1990s naman. Benchmarking. So, kinokompara mo naman yung company mo against other companies or other competitors, and business process optimization. Kaya nga nagkaroon po ng call center, business process optimization. How would you further improve the business? What are the methods that you should undertake? And last but not the least, 2000s. Using, i-highlight ko lang po siya, technology for growth and value creation. So growth and value creation. So management theories, ito yung topic natin for this lesson. So there are 3 from transformational, pero dito muna tayo magsimula sa 3. The big 3, which is classical management theories, behavioral management theories, and modern management theories. Sir, ano po ba yung pinagkaiba-iba niyang 3 yan? Later, we will you yourself will witness. So for now, we will focus more on the classical kasi siya yung nauna. And it consists of 3 well-known theories, which are bureaucracy by Weber, administrative theory by Fayol, and scientific management by Taylor. Classical management theories. So here you have the 3. In-explain ko na kanina, pinakita ko na yung 3. So ano ba yung mga na-contribute nitong 3 to? Si Frederick Taylor, Henry Fayol, and Max Weber. So ito. Ano po ba yung scientific management? So kalimutan nyo muna tong dalawa. Huwag nyo muna pansinin yan. So as you can see, scientific management, the focus is on the social nature of work groups. Si Fayol naman, 14 principles of management is used more or mostly for organizing activities. And later we will see kung bakit, And up to this day, up to this present times, they are adopted by today's managers. And then si Max Weber, bureaucracy. And bureaucracy is seen in many of today's large organizations. So scientific management. We will start with scientific management. So this one is Frederick Taylor. So ano po ba yung approach ng scientific management? Kada trabaho, for each job, there should be a corresponding standard. Accounting standards, legal standards, kada trabaho, meron siyang kanya-kanya standard. Trained workers in standard methods. Kasi nung time nila, it's more on the manufacturing side ang focus nila. Kasi there should be a standard for the work involved sa manufacturing. As much as possible, the task, it should be done uniformly. Walang variation. Minimal, if not zero, kung maaari. And supported workers by planning their work and eliminating interruptions. So, ibig sabihin, nakaplano lagi yung trabaho, meron silang schedule. Para naman mabawasan yung mga distractions. So, as much as possible, work must be seamless. And it provided wage incentives to workers for increased output. So, production. So, pag, let's say, sa mga manufacturing industry, if you reach that quota for production, hindi ka nga salesperson, but in a way, you're still sales. Kasi sa production, kailangan magawa mo yung mga target quota of the company. And according to Harvard Business Review, scientific management is one of the 12 influential innovations that have shaped modern management. Kagaya nga ng sabi kanina sa previous slide, scientific management is still utilized up to this very moment. Next naman, si Taylor. Taylor's motivation theory. So, nakapokus naman siya sa science. So, according to him, science, not rules of thumb. So, kasi during their times, uso yung mga rule of thumb. Pag ganito ang scenario, ganitong gagawin mo. Now, this time around, there's the science involved. Scientifically trained employees. Ensure most efficient ways of working are used. So, efficiency. You need efficiency at your work. Divide work between managers and workers. So, iba yung trabaho po ng mga manager at saka yung mga trabahador. And pay is based on results. So, performance-based. So, si Taylor ang nagpauso ng performance-based. Mga quota. Though, there's already the quota din. But yung pay, yung sweldo mo, based on results. Si motivation theory nagpauso yan. So, according to research, workers were responding to increased attention from supervisors. So, hindi naman sinasabing kulang sa pansin yung mga workers. But if they notice that their supervisors care for them or, laging nakatuon sa kanila, they become more attentive. Mas nagiging active din po sila. This suggested that productivity increased due to attention and not because of the experimental variables. Kasi gumawa po sila ng mga experiment. And if you would like to know that experiment, you can read further. But I'm just showing you how each theory works. Hindi na po yung detail. If you would like to pursue that in detail, you may do so. You can read other articles. Okay, administrative principles. Sa tatlo lang sila. So this is the last one. This one is by Henry Fayol or Fayol, whatever, kung gusto nyo. Pero French siya, so Fayol. silent L, but that's not the topic for today. So you have the 14 administrative principles. 14. So here it is: division of work, authority and responsibility, discipline, unity of command, unity of direction, subordination of individual interests, remuneration. Ano po yung remuneration na yan? Sweldo, no? The degree of centralization, line of authority or scalar chain, order, equity, stability of tenure, of personal initiative, and esprit de corps or team spirit. Now, sir, ano po yung apat na nakabilog dyan? No? Yan yung pinaka F4, no? Yan yung pinaka-apat na main administrative principles. Hindi naman po sinasabing walang silbi or walang saysay yung 10. But ito yung pinaka-focus. Ito yung pinaka, sabihin na natin yan yung pinaka-importante dun sa 14. No? So, of course, you must know the division of work. Then, there is that command. No? At pag nagko-command ka, kailangan meron ka rin pong direction. No? Meron nag-uutos, meron direction, kailangan meron din pong authority. Yung nagko-command at nagde-direction. No? Hindi pwede yung kapwa mo empleyado, utusan ka, anong pakiramdam mo nun? No? So there should be someone who has that authority, no? To command, to lead, and to give the division of work. And that is administrative principles of Henry Fayol in a nutshell. So next is bureaucracy. So this one is by Max Weber. So siguro kahit hindi kayo familiar sa bureaucracy, no, you actually hear that word a lot of times, mostly sa side ng government. No? But of course, even businesses, business organizations have their own forms of bureaucracy. No? So ano po ba yung bureaucracy na to? Ano po bang meron sa bureaucracy? Characteristics. Hierarchy of authority. No? So, may kokontra po ba dito? No? Hierarchy of authority. Merong president, vice president, no? Tapos middle managers, and then the junior managers, and then yung mga empleyado. Next, division of labor. Kanya-kanya po tayong trabaho. No? Wala po tayong sapuan ng trabaho. Itong trabaho mo, ito trabaho ng kasama mo, ito trabaho ko. No? Formal selection process. So, it's about formality. Walang nakalihim dyan. Very objective. Career orientation. So, meron kang patutunguhan sa bureaucracy. Hindi ka uncertain, no? Hindi yung katulad ng iba na ano ba mangyayari sa akin pag nagtagal ako sa company na to? No? Here, there is the orientation of career. Framework of rules, no? Hindi roles, rules. Framework of rules. So, medyo strict sila dito. There are always rules and regulations. No? Impersonality. So, ano po ba impersonality? Trabaho lang po, walang personalan. So, ito yung mga dimension of bureaucracy according to Weber. Yan nga. Merong rules and procedure. Specialization. Similar lang din siya doon sa kabila, yung previous slide. Hierarchy of authority. Yan nga. Technically qualified. So, you can see medyo may focus sa technically. Separate position from position holder. And written communications and records. Ito yung isa sa pinaka magandang ambag ni bureaucracy. Lahat nakasulat, lahat ng communication, minutes of the meeting. So, wala kang kawala dyan. Ha? Behavioral management theories. So, ito naman siya, no? So, meron na naman tayong tatlo. Si Hawthorne studies Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Again, ito yung pinakasikat, no? We will discuss later. And other behavioral theories. So here you have Elton Mayo at siya yung nag-contribute ng Hawthorne studies. So the focus is on the social nature. Iba na yung focus nila compared to that of the classical. And then Chester Barnard, cooperative systems. So nakaguhit na siya pero highlight ko lang. Attention to the requirements of the job. Ano po ba ang kailangan doon sa trabaho? Ano bang kailangan gawin sa trabaho na yan? And the needs of the people who must do them. Baka naman alam mo yung kailangan doon sa trabaho, yung mga requirements. Pero hindi mo naman alam yung pangangailangan ng mga tao na gagawa ng nakaatang na responsibilidad sa kanila sa kumpanya. So next, si Douglas McGregor, no? And he contributed theory X and theory Y. So focus naman niya is creation of challenging jobs. Sir, ano po yun? Later, na? Daanan natin. At ito, no? Abraham Maslow. So, hierarchy of needs. So, again, focus naman is needs. No? Satisfaction of employees' needs to motivate them to achieve productivity. Again, so kasi yung previous, no, yung classical, ang focus niya is the productivity. Pero hindi nila alam, no, na meron din pangangailangan yung mga tao na in order to achieve that productivity. Baka naman pinipilit mo sila mag-produce. Tapos hindi mo naman pala sila sinesweldohan, no? And last but not the least is Chris Argyris, adult personality. So ang focus naman niya is promotion of better relations. Paano ka makikisama sa mga tao? Paano sila makikisama sa iyo? So, Hawthorne studies. Ayan, no? So, siya si Elton Mayo. Ano po ba meron sa Hawthorne studies? If you would like to know the Hawthorne studies in detail, you can search. Pero, we'll just focus more on the summary. No? Experiments on illumination. Ano po ba ang epekto ng ilaw? No? Not just ilaw. Ano po bang epekto ng ilaw sa atin? Lalo na ngayon, kunwari, sa work from home setup, uso ngayon yung ring light or lampshade. Hindi ba masama sa mata natin sa trabaho? Or much better na tanggalin na lang natin mga ring light altogether? Just an example. Relay Assembly Test Room or RATR mass interviewing program. So again, you can Google it if you want. You can check. So just focusing more on the summary. And the bank wiring observation. So focus niya is illumination. Interview. Saka observation. Kung ano nangyayari. And kalimutan ko, personnel counseling. Kamusta naman ng mga empleyado? So according to Mayo's motivation theory, so there are two aspects. The x-axis is represented by the group's cohesiveness. Ano po ba yung cohesiveness? Ibig sabihin, okay naman yung samahan ng grupo, no? Kaya nga group. And the other is the norms. Ibig sabihin yung mga nakagisnan, no, within the company culture. So, apat lang ang pwede maging resulta. Negative, no, parang sa COVID test lang. Joke. Negative impact, no impact, some positive, and high positive impact. Tatanggalin ko nga ito. Okay, so next is cooperative systems. This one is by Chester Barnard. Tago ko lang, Chester Barnard. So, according to him, people's needs must be met. And managers must facilitate communication. No? Communication and encourage workers to perform their best. No? Do your best. No? Sabi nga. Organizations are generally not long-lived because they do not meet the two criteria necessary for survival. At yun po ay nabanggit na po natin last chapter, which is last module, which is effectiveness and efficiency. Siya po yung nagpasimula niyang effectiveness and efficiency. Next is McGregor's motivation theory. So, pakilala ko lang po si Douglas McGregor. Hindi po Conor McGregor, Douglas. So, according to him, there are two types of theories. Theory X and Theory Y. Ano po ba ang pinagkaiba nila? As you can see here, medyo oppressive tong Theory X. Authoritarian, repressive style. Tight control, no development. Procedures are limited and depressed culture. Kapag mahigpit po ang amo ninyo, kapag lagi po kayong hawak sa leeg, kapag po lagi kayong hawak sa leeg, ang tawag ko po dyan ay para kang nasa hawla. Wala kang kalayaan, wala kang creativity. So, pag ganun nangyayari sa'yo, yung mga tao, kasama ka na rin dun, hindi po kayo masaya. Kasi kada kilos nyo parang takot na takot kayo sa amo ninyo, sa boss or sa management itself. Wala naman pong mali, no? Pero minsan pag masyado ka ring mahigpit, naapektuhan din po ang organisasyon. So as you can see, staff, then yung staff na puro going down lang. In short, Papa Boss. Yes man lang kayo. Next, for Theory Y naman, as you can see, very open. It's liberating and developmental. So, control, achievement, and continuous improvement can be achieved by enabling and empowering them. Kaysa yung hinihigpitan mo sila, ikaw mismo nagmo-motivate sa kanila, no? At binibigyan mo po sila ng responsibilidad na naniniwala ka na kaya nilang gawin ang mga pinapagawa ninyo. So, they are the antithesis of each other. So, Theory X versus Theory Y. Nicolas Cage, John Travolta, Face Off. First is attitude. So for Theory X, they consider the people as those who dislike work. They find work boring and kung pwede lang, wag nang gawin. Avoid. Whereas sa Theory Y, the employees need to work, want to take an interest and enjoy. Self-directing na sila. And in terms of direction, no, nabanggit ko na rin, Theory X must be forced or coerced into compliance. Para bang tingin ni Theory X ay mga Indio, no? Para silang mga hasyenderong Kastila na kailangan pilitin, sapilitang magtrabaho mga tao. Whereas Theory Y, no, they direct ourselves towards an accepted target. Sila na po bahala sa sarili nila, no? Hindi na kailangan utusan. May sariling sikap, no? May sariling kusa, shall I say. Iba yung sariling sikap. Responsibility. Huh? Theory X needs to be directed, no? According to Theory X. And again, avoids responsibility. Whereas Theory Y, they thrive on it. No? Baliktad naman sila. Kung ito umiiwas, ito naman natutuwa pag mayroong responsibilidad. Motivation. No? Theory X is motivated by fear. No? Parang kikilos lang sila pag natatakot na sila, pag cornered na sila, lack of money and job security. No? So, ibig sabihin, pag walang pera, desperado na sila. No? Pag hindi sila sure, ayan namomotivate na sila, kailangan magtrabaho ko mabuti, kundi masisisante ako. And stuff like that. No? Whereas Theory Y is motivated by desire or self-development. No? So, siya mismo ang maghahanap ng paraan para ma-improve ang kanyang sarili. Ito, no? As you can see, the keyword and contribute to the world. No? Parang yung sinasabi natin yun na para sa ekonomiya. No? Hindi na para pang sarili lamang. Next is creativity. Ang creativity sa Tagalog or sa Pilipino ay pagiging malikhain. Little creativity, wala na. Sunod-sunuran ka na lang eh. Para ka na lang hawak sa leeg ni boss. Oh. Tinanggalan ka na ng pakpak. Except when getting around rules. No, kung makakaiwas ka sa mga rules and regulation, no, kung makakalusot ka, sure, why not? And for Theory Y is highly creative when given recognition and opportunity. Minsan, no, bigyan mo rin ng pagkakataon yung mga tao mo. No? Who knows, they might have great ideas, no? Better ideas than what you possess. And that's the difference between the two. No? Theory X, no? John Travolta, Theory Y, Nicolas Cage. No? Medyo pang Tito Thunders na yung joke ko, sorry. Next is hierarchy of needs. Ito siguro yung pinakasikat na sikat. The most famous of them all. Kahit mga hindi management students, no? Kahit mga ordinaryong empleyado, kahit hindi nag-aral ng business administration or kung alam nila po yung hierarchy of needs na yan. So siya si Abraham Maslow. At ito, ayon sa kanya, ay ang hierarchy of needs. So, tanggalin ko muna to. We start with the very bottom of the pyramid, which is physiological needs. So, very simple, very basic, pero abundant siya. The question is, hindi po lahat kaya pa rin makuha tong mga physiological needs ito. So, here are examples. Hangin, tubig, pagkain, bahay, tahanan, makatulog ka man lang, pananamit, at syempre, reproduction. It's just one of the goals. Wala pong bastos po dyan. Wala pong mali siya. Next is safety needs. Personal security. Sino po bang hindi naghahanap ng personal security? As much as possible, we want to feel safe. Employment, of course. Employment is personal security. Pag may trabaho ka, you can provide to the family. Resources. Hindi na sinabi ko nung klaseng resources yan, but most likely in the form of money. Health and property. Merong maganda yung kalusugan mo at meron kang ari-arian. Number 3, love and belonging. Hindi naman sinabing love, jowa kagad, no? Para sinabing wala akong silbi, no? Love and belonging. So, friendship, no? Friday group, Saturday group, no? Barkada, friends, professional contacts, intimacy. No? So, probably your partner, your girlfriend, boyfriend. Wag na natin sabihin yung isa pa. Family, your family. Family members, your mom, your dad, your siblings, your grandparents, mga other relatives, and a sense of connection. Yun nga, yung mga professional contacts, mga classmates nyo. That is the third need. Number 4, yung esteem. Etong dalawang to, siguro ito yung pinakamahirap, no? Esteem muna. We start with esteem. Respeto. No? Kailangan natin ng respeto, but before you get that, you must earn it. Self-esteem, na kaya mong gawin to. Ikaw yung mismo magmo-motivate sa sarili mo. Especially during this time of the pandemic. Mahirap po yung self-esteem. No? Everyone is undergoing depression in one way or another. So, kailangan kapit lang po tayo. Magtulong-tulungan po tayo. Status. Ay, si ganito ay isang CEO. Yung isang mga needs. Recognition. Kalimutan mo na maging CEO, at least ma-recognize ka man lang ng kumpanya pinapasukan mo. Kilala ka nila, ikaw si ganito. Ikaw yung nagtagal sa kumpanya ng 30 years. So, ikaw yung na-awardan ng ganito, Employee of the Month. Strength and freedom. Ito, medyo mahirap itong dalawang to. Mahirap i-define. Each one of us has a different definition of strength. Each one of us have a different definition of freedom. Ano po ba yung mga yan? Kaya lang po makakasagot yan. My answer will vary differently from yours. And last, but not the least, is the self-actualization. The desire to become the most that one can be. Mahirap pong i-gauge to. Ano po bang balak nyo sa sarili nyo? Kayo lang din po ang makakaalam nun. Pangangailangan na yan. That's the hardest form of needs. Mahirap po yan. Self-actualization na yan. So next is adult personality. This one was formulated by Chris R. Gears. So according to him, adult personality has its considerations on the needs and capabilities. Hindi lang pangangailangan. Kailangan meron din silang abilidades of mature adults. Ano po ibig sabihin ng capabilities of mature adults? Baka nga 37 ka na, 40, pero yung utak mo pang isip bata, no? Next, expansion of job responsibilities. Unti-unti, mag-expand yung trabaho mo. Next, task varieties. Gaano karami? Baka naman paulit-ulit yung trabaho mo na parang katulad nung sa clerk, paulit-ulit. Repeated, araw-araw nang ginawa ng Diyos yun at yun ang ginagawa mo. Or something a little bit more varied like engineering. Yes, ganun pa rin naman po ang procedure pero iba-iba po ang senaryo. Meron po siyang site differences. And allow adjusted supervisory styles to allow more participation. So, ibig sabihin, si Bisor na po ang gagawa ng adjustments. Minsan kasi sa management, kailangan marunong po kayong umunawa sa mga tao. Some of these people are not of high education. So we are fortunate enough that some of us might be able to finish college or have good learning, good educational background, but there are some people na talagang salat sa kaalaman. At ang kailangan mo lang talagang gawin ay unawain sila. No? Kung kaya mo mapaintindi sa kanila, much better. Yan. So as the manager or supervisor, you must listen. You must adjust to them. No? But you must also need to learn when to put your foot down. Kailan ang enough is enough. No? Hindi pwedeng palagi ka na lang yuyuko or mag-a-adjust. Now, we go to modern management theories. So dito naman po tayo, no? Tapos na po tayo sa classical. Tapos na tayo sa classical, behavioral. Now we proceed to the modern management theories. At ano naman po meron dito sa modern management theories na to? We have the quantitative approach, system approach, and the contingency approach. So meron silang sub theory on that, no? Yan. Yan naman yung scope. No? Si management science, operations management, management information system, open and closed system, and situational theory. So we will discuss this next slide. So itong modern naman is 1950 to 1980 yung first half, no? First view. This one, various proponents naman. So marami sila. Quantitative analysis. So you can read the features. So they are very useful to manufacturing and service delivery. So ito yung mga na-invento nila. Value chain, inventory management, quality control, and process analysis. Then next, si W. Edwards Deming and Joseph Juran. TQM, or Plan, Control, Improve. Interrelated lang po sila. No? So features, it promotes quality as a vital strategy for organizations. Especially sa service, lagi pong focus is quality. Even manufacturing focuses on quality. Now even merchandise, no? Yung mga tao, yung mga sales lady, no? Yung mga POS, mga cashier, clerk, they must have this quality naman, no? Rather than the products itself. No? So ito na, no? Ito na yung mga pabigat na ng pabigat yung mga players natin. Si Peter Drucker, so na-mention na natin siya na nakaraan. So knowledge management, no? Knowledge. Kung walang knowledge, walang power. Bye-bye. No? So ano ba meron dito? New information as key. No? You're using that new information for technological advancements. No? Peter Senge or Peter Senge? Senge na lang. Sa Pilipinas naman tayo. The learning organization. Sir, ano po ba yung learning organization? So ito naman po yung kanyang emphasis. No? So emphasis on information. Hindi tinatablan. Information sharing. Ha? Teamwork. And empowerment. So, dapat hindi ka maramot sa learning organization. Kailangan marunong ka mag-share. No? Wag lang isagot pag exam. No? Kailangan magtulungan kayo at hindi kayo nagsasapawan. No? Ini-encourage nyo yung isa't isa. And last for this slide is evidence-based management, no? Or EBMGT. So ito pa lang, no? The keyword is evidence. They focus more on meaningful research for management insights and report for case studies. No? So nagsimula po siya sa medicine field, no? Medical field. That you need evidence to support your concepts or theories. So proponents is Jeffrey Pepper and Robert Sutton. And last, no, the legendary. As you go further into the management studies, you will always hear this name all the time. No? Si Michael Porter. And the main ideas that he contributed is competitive strategy. So for now, focus muna tayo dito sa quality movement. You have W. Edwards Deming and Joseph Juran. And then, sa modern management, si Peter Drucker. And now we have Tito, Vic, and Joey. No? Sila munang tatlo focus natin. If you will notice, these gentlemen are mostly bald. No? So, if you think management is, management lang yan. No? If you will study management in detail, ganyan po magiging ending sa ating lahat. No? And yours truly is not exempted from that. So, next, learning organization. Siya lang ang nakalusot, no? Si Peter Senge. And then sa evidence base, so you can see, no? Panotcha rin sila. Jeffrey Pepper, and ganun din, no? Pare-pareho yung trends namin. Buti na lang may buhok pa si Sir, no? And si Robert Sutton. Next, sa competitive strategy, isa pang exempted pero nandun na rin, no? Actually, he's still alive, no? Si Michael Porter. He was able to complete his work. Marami po siyang ideas at an early age of 31, I think. So marami na siyang na-achieve in the field of management. So siya yung pinakasikat actually. So here we have TQM, or Total Quality Management. We will not discuss each contribution in detail. So nandito lang yung mga elements. We'll just focus more on the elements. Ano po ba ang meron sa TQM? So ito po yung mga yon. So here you have focus on customer. And as we all know, the customer is always right. So you must focus on the customer. Employee involvement. You must involve your employees in, if not the decision-making process, at least magbigay man lang siya ng suggestions na baka magamit ng management. Process center. So it's a science. So it focuses on process. Integrated systems. So lahat po sila ay interconnected, interrelated. TQM must also have strategic and systematic approach. Pang long term, pang matagalan, at efficient. And also, TQM bases decision making based on facts. Ibig sabihin, makatotohanan po yung binibigay nyong decision making. Hindi po siya yung kwentong kutsero lang. And then, again, hindi mo matatanggal to, kahit saan. Communication. There should be constant communication. And, of course, kaya nga po siya total quality management, there should be continuous improvement. Hindi po pwedeng makontento kayo sa kung ano kayo ngayon. Maybe now you're the best, but someday, if you are contented with your laurels, someone will far exceed you. Kaya nga ako, ang personal favorite quotation ko is, there's always someone better than you. Meron mas magaling sa'yo. Siguro ngayon hindi, but someday there will be someone who will exceed you. So TQM is considered a customer focus. So nakita natin customer focus. Continual process. It's a process of detecting. Actually, nakaano na siya, pero ano lang siya. Reducing, improving, or eliminating Errors of business operations. In short, ang tawag ko dyan is RITE. R-I-T-E. Sorry na lang sa pangit na sulat. So, reducing, improving, detecting, and eliminating. Next, it aims to hold all parties involved in the production process. So, lahat na may kinalaman sa production process are accountable and involved. Walang exemption. Walang lusot. So, you are involved. Accountable. Responsibilidad niyo yan sa production for the overall quality of the final product or service. It strives to ensure that all associated employees work toward the common goals of improving product or service quality, as well as that are in place for production. So in conjunction with TQM is the continuous improvement. So ito po siya, no? So we will start with plan, and then do, check, act. Naiba lang ng konti. Plan, do, check, act rather than planning, organizing, leading, controlling. But still, it's a 4-step process. So plan, control, improve. The ongoing improvement of products. Keyword here is the ongoing, no? Ongoing improvement of products, services, or processes through incremental and breakthrough improvements. So nakita nyo, no? Meron tayo ditong tatlong sunod-sunod na improvements. Improvements, improvement, improvement. Through incremental and breakthrough improvements. These efforts can seek incremental improvement, unti-unti, over time, or breakthrough improvement. So, yan, no? So, there are two types. You have the incremental and you have the breakthrough. So, ano po ba pinagkaiba niyan? Ayan, nabanggit na actually. So, ibig sabihin, pag incremental, unti-unti lang po. Slow, gradual, but sure. Merong improvement. Yung breakthrough kasi parang biglang pagbabago. It's almost like a paradigm shift. So here, we have Lean Six Sigma, DMAIC. Meron pang isang klase yan, but ito yung pinakasikat na version. So DMAIC means define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. So, bakit DMAIC? You must define the problem. Ano ba problema mo na kailangan i-solve? Imbis na SMART, naging DMAIC lang. Ano ba yung kailangan mong i-measure? Map out the entire process. Yung current process mo ngayon. Na pwede mo pang i-improve, hanapan mo ng problema. Analyze. You must identify the cause of the problem. Hindi naman po pwedeng walang problema yan. Meron pong problema dyan na kailangan i-troubleshoot or i-improve. If not, eliminate. If not, i-write. Improve, yan nga. Implement and verify the solution. So, check mo sa implementation. Minsan, hindi mo malalaman na kung tama or mali yung ginawa mong strategy or solution hanggat hindi ka nag-i-implement. And, kung okay naman, then you maintain the solution. controlling ka na lang, monitoring na lang. Next is the knowledge management. Maraming versions ng knowledge management, no? Pero ito yung siguro yung isa sa preferred ko. Again, it's a process. It's a life cycle. So acquire, apply, assess, create, identify, refine, and disseminate. You can read naman yung mga definition niya, no? But I will do it for you. Acquire is to obtain potential valuable knowledge. Ano ba yung pwede mong matutunan? Apply, adapt of knowledge to fit into the context. Assess. Evaluation na to, no? Yung assess. The utilization of knowledge. Tama ba yung ginawa mo? Or tama ba yung knowledge na ginamit mo? Create. Fill the knowledge gap by replacing or extending the existing resources. Identify. Determine the knowledge that can add value. Alamin mo doon yung pinaka-importante. Ano pa ba ang pwedeng, anong part ng knowledge ang magdadagdag, no? Can add value. Refine, again, continuous improvement aspect. Accumulate the identified knowledge. Ayusin mo pa, baka pwede mo pa i-improve. And last is disseminate, establish knowledge sharing methods for better availability. So knowledge management or KM. So it is the coordination. Ayan na, keyword, no? Coordination and exploitation of organizational knowledge resources in order to create benefit and competitive knowledge. So you're using KM in order to get or even sustain the competitive advantage or CA. An integrated approach to identifying, capturing, evaluating, retrieving, and sharing. So CRIES. So my mnemonics for that is CRIES. 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 Of the assets. So you must be able to identify. Okay. Next. These assets may include databases, documents, policies, procedures, and previously uncaptured expertise and experience in individual workers. Baka hindi mo lang siya natatap pero meron na pala. Uncaptured experience and expertise. Pero ang mas focus right now is ito. Si database, documents, and policies and procedures. Though this one, uncaptured expertise and experience, unti-unti nang papunta dyan yung knowledge management. Next is the learning organization. So, merong 5. So, systems thinking, personal mastery, mental models, and building shared vision and team learning. Learning organization. So, this one is from the author himself of the theory. Learning organization are organizations where people continually expand their capacity to create the results. Create the results that they truly desire. Yeah, highlight ko lang. Where new and expansive patterns of thinking, so new and expansive patterns of thinking are nurtured, according to Senge. Where collective aspiration is set free. Mali na. Ayan. Collective aspiration is set free, and where people are continually learning. Ito talaga yung pinaka-keyword. Continually learning to see the whole together. So this one, according to O'Keefe, may develop as a result of pressures facing modern organization. Dahil sa pressure, nagkaroon ng learning organization. This enables them to remain competitive in the business environment. A good example for me of the learning organization is the synchronous and asynchronous education system right now. Nag-adjust po tayo. As educators, we must learn to find ways how to continue the learning process. Na even the teachers themselves have to know and equip themselves with the technological and technical know-how. Ganun po yun para makasurvive. Kasi try to imagine if teachers will not want to use this kind of modality or learning system. Ayaw namin gumamit ng Google Chrome, Google Meet. Ano mangyayari sa amin? We will perish. Hindi namin makakayanan. Hihintayin namin magbukas ulit ang mga eskwelahan for face-to-face? How long will it happen? Maswerte kung next year meron na po. But what if it happened after 5 years, 6 years? Diba? So, that's the pressure, no? Yun yung nangyari sa atin ngayon for the synchronous and asynchronous classes. So that's a good example. So we go to evidence-based management. Originally coined in the 1990s in the field of medicine. Evidence-based management is about making decisions through the conscientious, explicit, and judicious use of the 4 sources of information. May 4 na pinanggalingan ng informasyon. 4 po. 4. First, practitioner expertise and judgment. Sino po ba tayo? Sila yung practitioner. Sila nakakaalam. Second, evidence from local context. Third, a critical evaluation of the best available research evidence. Again, the key here is research and evidence. Meron ka ng research, meron ka pang ebidensya. And number 4, the perspectives of people who might be affected by the decision. So here is the evidence-based management. So 6 po sila. Asking, acquiring, appraising, aggregating, applying, and assessing. Nandyan po yung mga definition nila. Yan. I will not delve deeper on that. Kasi beginner lang naman po tayo dito. Next. Last, competitive strategy. Yan. So 5 sila actually. The low cost, broad differentiation, focus low cost, focus differentiation, and best cost provider. So, the long elements, market target, and the type of competitive advantage na pinupursue. So, this one is from Michael Porter. Functions, roles, and skills of a manager. So, tapos na tayo dun sa mga theories. Functions, skills, and roles. So, by function, you have the first level, the middle level, and the top managers. For the skills, you have the technical, human, and conceptual, and roles, you have interpersonal, informational, and decisional. Ano po ba itong mga to? We will discuss. So, functions of a manager. So, here we have itong dalawa na nagtatalo. No? Yung magtatay. The first level and the middle level managers. And next, you have the top level. You might be the president of the company, the owner, the CEO. Yeah. So, we will start at the bottom. So here you have the team leaders and non-managerial employees, or the management levels in the organization. So as you can see, there are two types. You have the line jobs and the staff. Mga empleyado lang po, mga walang, so hindi naman natin masabing walang say, pero sila yung nasa pinaka ibaba ng pyramid. Next, you have the first line managers. So usually they're considered as the functional heads. Ano po ba yung functional heads? Let's say IT, HRM, accounting supervisor, production, sa let's say sa manufacturing or sa diba? Sales, R&D, or research and development. Then next you have the middle managers. So mas malaki yung sakop ni middle manager. Hindi lang po departamento. Let's say business unit head, he is a GM or administrator, product line manager. Let's say ang focus mo lang is electric fans, or ACU lang. That's a department manager. Or information services manager. As you can see on all these three levels, whether you're a unit head, department manager, or functional head, merong horizontal project manager responsibility. Pwedeng magkaroon. And last is the top managers, wherein you have the CEO and corporate or group head or VP of admin. Pero sila yung considered the top managers. Now, this is an open question. Management in practice. Do you really want to be a manager? Again, you might say, matagal pa naman po yan, sir, but it really depends. There are some people who became manager at very early age, probably 25. There are some who became managers later, like 50 or 55. Kung kailan pa retiro na, saka lang sila naging manager. But do you really want to be a manager? Down, under, moving up. So, anong ibig sabihin nun? Mula dun sa ilalim ng pyramid paakyat. Anong mangyayari siya pag naging manager ka? Increased workload. You work 70 hours per week or more. Back when I was still in the construction site, I actually worked almost at that rate. Pero hindi po ako manager. Project in charge lang po ako. So, 12 hours, 8 o'clock in the morning up to not really 8 in the evening, minsan 7 or 8, but there are times na gabi, nandiyan pa rin kami, 10 o'clock, we're still there. So, you work 70 hours per week or more. A manager's job always starts before a shift and ends hours after the shift is over. So, when I was in Cavite, ang oras ng trabaho namin ay alas 8. So, mas relax, but I must be there at around 7 in the morning. 7 in the morning, tapos 5. Hindi naman kagad pwedeng umuwi. Mag-iikot ka pa. 6. Tapos na yung trabaho ng mga tao. And then, after that, you still have to do other things like computations, correspondence, monitoring, so on and so forth. So, 70 hours per week is really just normal for a manager. The challenge of supervising former peers. Again, it's another problem. Dati magka-level kayo, ngayon umangat ka. The toughest issue among new managers. Headache of responsibility for other people. Hindi lang sarili mo ang kapakanan, no? Ngayon, pati yung iba. No? Hiring, supervising, and disciplining other people is very stressful. Iba-iba po ang ugali ng mga tao, pakikisamahan mo po, lahat ng kailangan gawing adjustment talaga. Lahat ng pagtitimpi at pasensya. Sinasabi ko po yan ng may hugot. No? Kasi napagdaanan ko rin po, kahit ako po minsan nagigilty, masakit din po ulo ng manager ko sa akin. Kasi minsan, hindi naman po natin maiiwasan. We are not perfect. At ako po minsan nagkakamali rin. Pero after that, trabaho lang naman po yan walang personalan. So wag mong pa-personalin ng mga tao nyo, lalo na kung naging manager kayo. And being caught in the middle. Ito ang pinakamahirap, no? Para kang nasa gitna ng nag-uumpugang bato. Managers find themselves as a backstop between upper management and the workforce. Ikaw yung nasa gitna Parang ikaw yung palaman dun sa burger bun, no? Ikaw yung hamburger. So, pag nagtatalo yung nasa baba at saka nasa taas, ikaw yung ipit. Saan ka pupunta? Saan ka lalagay? Pag kinampihan mo yung isa, yari ka doon sa kabila. Skills of a manager. Technical skills. So ito po yung ibig sabihin ng technical skills. Understanding of and proficiency in the performance of specialized procedures, techniques, and knowledge required to get the job done. Usually, kayo mga bago graduate, ito po ang habol sa inyo, no? Technical skills. Includes mastery of methods, techniques, and the equipment involved in special functions such as engineering, manufacturing, or finance. So let's say po, nasa accounting department ka, at least marunong ka naman mag-prepare ng financial statement. No? Pag nasa engineering side ka naman, marunong ka naman lang mag-compute ng basic volume and area. Marunong ka rin mag-surveying, marunong ka ng quality control, no? Procurement, alam mo yung mga specifications and stuff like that. No? Yun ang habol nila sa'yo. Human skills. As you go up the ladder, you must need the human skills, not just relying on your technical. Mababawasan yung technical skills mo. The manager's ability to work with and through other people and to work effectively as a group member. No? Makikisama ka na ngayon. They are essential for frontline managers who work with employees directly on a daily basis. Isipin mo, araw-araw yan, makikisama ka. No? Hindi ka nga HR siguro per se, but para ka na rin HR in a way. No? Iaano mo yung mga ugali ng tao, pakikisamahan mo, but you must still have that authority. No? Hindi pwede yung masyado kang mabait, hindi rin pwede masyado kang mahigpit. Just the right balance. No? And last but not the least is this conceptual skills. No? What is conceptual skills? It is the ability to see the organization as a whole. Hindi ka lang nakapokus sa sarili mo, hindi lang nakapokus ka sa tao mo, kundi sa buong organisasyon. No? To understand how the different parts of the company affect each other. In short, you must know how about the inner workings. No? Paano gumagana ang makinarya. No? How the different parts of the company affect each other, and to recognize how the company fits into or is affected by elements of its external environment, such as the local community, social and economic forces, customers, and the competition. This one is from White E, Learning to be a Boss. So usually, itong conceptual skills is more on the top management. Your decisions are not just based from your own for your own good, kundi para sa kapakanan ng buong kumpanya. Just imagine you are working as a CEO of a company with not just a few employees, but probably thousands, no? If not tens of thousands of employees, nakaatang sa yung responsibilidad at lahat ng desisyon na ginagawa mo, ang laki ng pressure sa'yo. Huh? The ability to think strategically. Huh? So I'm sure some of you are, you know, if I hope you have read the book Sun Tzu, Art of War. Art of War by Sun Tzu. So the ability to think strategically, to take the broad, long-term view, and to identify, evaluate, and solve complex problems. Yung decision mo, hindi lang siya yung parang patsi-patsi lang, isosolve mo lang isang small problem. That's for the middle managers. You as the top manager, should take the decision that will take you and the company to the long and everlasting glory. Relationship nung tatlo. So as you can see, ito yung mga skills usually ng mga per each department, per each level. So for non-managers, tago ko muna sarili ko, or individuals, ito muna sila. They have more or less the technical skills. So kayo pag graduate nyo at nagtrabaho kayo, ang unang salang nyo sa trabaho, ganito ang skills nyo. Lamang si technical, meron naman kayong human skills. Tao naman kasi kayo eh. Pero more on individualistic human skills. And then wala pa kayong decision making skills for the sake of the company. So yan. So ang focus nyo is more on yourself. Next, pag na-promote na kayo, first line managers, pantay pa rin, Actually, nalamangan na ni human skills, si technical skills, but just a shade of difference. At nag-improve na tong si conceptual skills, humahabol na siya. Now, when you become a middle manager, wala na, papaubaya mo na sa mga juniors mo, dito kay non-managers or kay first line. Sige, kayo na bahala sa technical. Ito naman ang focus ko. Itong dalawa. Until such time, babaliktad, wala nang halos matira sa technical skills mo, and conceptual na, yung decision making na lang ang focus mo. But you still have the human skills. So lamang lang ng konti yung isa, the former from the latter, the former from the latter, former from the latter. So dito lang talaga yung malaki yung boost, malaki yung skill, technical skill pag bagong graduate or bagong pasok sa company. 10 factors why skills fail. So this one is from Longenecker, CO, Neubert, MJ, and Fink, LS. The causes and consequences of a managerial failure in rapidly changing organizations, from Business Horizons, Journal 50, Table 1. So number 1, ineffective. Ito, minention ni Sun Tzu yan, yung about sa command. Ineffective communication skills and practices. Poor work relationships or interpersonal skills. Hindi ka pwede maging manager kung hindi ka marunong mag-communicate or hindi ka marunong makipag-usap, hindi ka marunong makisama sa mga tao. Just imagine, yung amo, ikaw as the manager, hindi ka marunong makirelate, marunong makisama sa mga tao mo. Kailangan i-train mo yung sarili mo. I for one, I'm not really good, with interpersonal skills, but you will have to learn it bit by bit. Matututunan mo rin po yung human skills na yan. Next person, job mismatch. Baka naman yung tao na kinuha nyo ay likas na introvert tapos ilalagay mo sa front desk. Just imagine that nightmare for that person. Or, diba, hindi match. Hindi ka dapat dun sa trabaho na yon. Someone else should have been hired. Number 4, failure to clarify direction or performance expectations. 5, failure to adapt and break old habits. As you go up the ladder, as you get older, you must learn new habits, or you must learn to adapt. No? One of my favorite sayings that I've heard is that if you fail to adapt, you will perish. No? So, kaya nga sinasabi nila that you cannot teach an old dog new tricks. No? So, yan ang isa sa mga problema sa skills mo. Napag-iiwanan ka ng panahon. Number 6, breakdown of delegation and empowerment. 7, lack of personal integrity and trustworthiness. Try to imagine leading a company, as one of the managers, and then hindi ka katiwa-tiwala. Wow. Wala akong masabi. No comment. Number 8, inability to develop cooperation and teamwork. Hindi magkasundo-sundo yung mga tao sa team, sa organization. Paano kayo makakapag-move forward? 9, inability to lead or motivate others. And number 10, poor planning. Ayan. Top 10 mistakes managers make. Huh? So ito, more on the asynchronous na kasi ito eh. Insensitive to others, abrasive, intimidating, or bully. So parang theory X, no? Nananakot ka, nambubuli ka, magaspang yung pag-uugali mo. Number 2, baliktad naman to, no? Kung ito masyadong arrogante ito, or agresibo, ito naman tahimik naman masyado, no? Malamig, suplado, at napagkakamalan ka na rin arrogante nun, suplado ka. No? Number 3, they betray trust. No? Bawa may kunento kang sekreto sa manager mo, kinabukasan, kinalat niya, paano ka mapagkakatiwalaan? Simpleng sekreto lang, di mo kayang itago. 4, overly ambitious. Masyado namang ambisyoso. Magaling ka nga, pero amoy na amoy nila, no? Kahit nasa malayo ka na namumuliti ka na. No? 5, specific performance problems with the business. 6, overmanaging. Hindi mo naman kayang takawalan yung mga trabaho mo. No? As a manager, you should be able to delegate well or build a team. Ang nangyayari kasi, gusto mo ikaw lang ang number 1. Ikaw ang magte-take credit. That's not good. No, that's a mistake of a manager. Number 7, unable to stop effectively. Bakit? No? What's wrong? Probably one of the 6 above. No? Number 8, unable to think strategically. Medyo ano to, no? Medyo mahirap to kasi hindi ka naman siguro mapopromote kung hindi ka marunong mag-isip. No? Number 9, unable to adapt to boss with different style. Ito medyo mahirap din kasi to. No? Probably your styles clash. No? Styles make a difference. No? But too much difference will put a gap or a distance between you. No? Between the two of you. And number 10 is over-dependent. Informational. No? So, ito naman yung mga role as informational. You monitor, you are a disseminator, and a spokesperson. So, ano naman po yung monitor? Yan. Gathers and tracks relevant information on what is happening inside and outside the organization. Yan ang CCTV, no? Disseminator shares relevant information to other organization members. So, ikaw yung mensahero, no? Ikaw yung nagre-relay. And spokesperson transmit information to outsiders through speeches, reports, and memos. Tagapagsalita. No? Interpersonal. So, you might be one of the few of these. The figurehead, you just perform symbolic duties such as greeting visitors and signing legal documents. You're the role model of the organization. Usually, ganun naman po ang mga amo natin. Alamin mo naman yung amo mo magta-type, magpe-print, no? Ang amo or your boss or the CEO of the company, pipirma lang yan. Wala nang checking yan usually. Kung meron man, papabasa niya pa sa mga legal department niya. Tapos sinabi, okay boss, sige, pirma lang. Huh? It's a leader. Direct, motivate, train, counsel, and communicate with subordinates. Of course, you as a leader, kailangan meron kanyang mga yan. And we will discuss that later. Huh? And liaison. Huh? Ito yung tinatawag naming layas. Huh? They maintain the information links both inside and outside the organization. Ano ba mga kailangan ng organization? Ikaw ang mangangalaga. Decisional. You are an entrepreneur. You identify and develop new business opportunities. So we will discuss that in applied economics, new business opportunities and ideas. And you must also learn how to delegate responsibility to others. For disturbance handler, you take corrective action during disputes or crisis among members. Ikaw ay para kang barangay chairman. As much as possible, ikaw ang magmi-mitigate, or may isa pang tawag doon parang siguro the closest you can say is like barangay chairman, taga-awat, arbiter, resource allocator. So decides who gets the funds, resources, and priorities for effective usage. So it's your decision. And negotiator makes effective agreements with various parties. So ikaw yung nakikipag-usap, ikaw ang in charge dyan. And with that, thank you very much for listening. I know I have been, I discuss it as freestyling as possible, and I hope you enjoy the lessons. I might cut this lesson into 2 parts para lang hindi siya masyadong mahaba. Thank you.